When I started my career in real estate about 6 years ago, I never knew that one of the biggest polarizing topics in this field would be HOAs. People either love them or they hate living in a community with an HOA. But one thing they love even more is talking about how much they love or hate their HOAs. Now, not all HOAs are created equally, and you're going to find that HOAs here in Georgia are quite different than how they are in many other states. Hi, I'm Sarah Maslowski with KeyPoint Homes Group, a local real estate agent here in the Northeast Metro Atlanta area. And I help clients from all over the country relocate right here to North Georgia. And if you're thinking about making a move to Georgia, I want to be your real estate agent, and you can book a call with me below. One of the first things clients usually mention when they are talking about their needs and wants in a home here is whether or not they want to be in a neighborhood that has an HOA. So what do you need to know about buying a home in an HOA community, and how are they different here in Georgia than any other states? I saw an article recently about a local homeowner who bought a house in a neighborhood with an HOA that did not allow solar panels. He made a request to install them anyway, and he was denied. Now, this homeowner decided to move forward with installing them anyway, despite being told it was not going to be allowed by the association. And unsurprisingly, the HOA was not happy and has been issuing him a daily fee until he removes them. Now, it may seem like common sense, but one thing you need to consider before buying a home is whether or not you are in agreement with the rules they have for the neighborhood. And if not, then you don't need to be looking in a community that has an HOA, unless you just want a lawsuit on your hands like this homeowner. Majority of HOAs do not allow solar panels, so if this is something that you are considering, you need to make sure the community you choose allows them, or you are looking for homes outside of a neighborhood. I hear it all the time. I'm not buying a house just to be told what color I can or can't paint it, or that I can't park my RV in the yard. It's my house. I get it. But there is a point to these associations. Their goal is not just to boss you around and tell you what you can and can't do to your own home, though there are some definitely that are more strict than others. The purpose of paying for an association to mandate these rules is to keep property values high and allow neighborhoods to maintain their value. To me, as a real estate agent, it is very obvious when I am driving through neighborhoods which ones have an HOA and which ones don't. Though they might be a little bit nitpicky, they are definitely doing a great job of making sure a community stays well kept, which massively impacts home values. You can drive through 2 different neighborhoods that were built around the same time in the same town, and the way the houses and yards have or haven't been cared for is night and day difference, and this is determined by whether or not there was an HOA in place setting up rules and guidelines for the community. In the state of Georgia, roughly 2.3 million people live in HOA communities, and 34% of Georgia homeowners are part of HOAs. These statistics look at Georgia as a whole, which obviously includes Middle and South Georgia, where it is a lot more common to find a home that is not in an HOA. If there was a measurement for just the North Metro Atlanta area, I think this percentage would be a bit closer to 50, maybe 60% of homes are in HOA communities. If you are buying a home that was built within the last 5 years in a neighborhood, I can almost guarantee you that you are going to have one. It's almost impossible to find a new construction home that's also in a neighborhood that's not in an HOA. Now, if it is a home that is just a standalone home on the side of the road, then it's not going to have an HOA, and likely that's kind of built by a one-off smaller builder. Having an HOA is very common in a lot of the towns that we service and talk about here on the channel, like Buford, Suwanee, Alpharetta, and Johns Creek. Many people who choose places like Alpharetta or Johns Creek have had to pay a significant price to live in those areas and have absolutely no problem with these restrictions because they know it's going to keep their property values high. If you're going to spend $750,000 on a home, you are going to want it to maintain its value. If your neighbor hasn't mowed their grass in 2 years and parked their old camper on the front lawn, this is going to decrease the value of your home. This isn't to say that if a neighborhood doesn't have an HOA that everything will go to hell in a handbasket and and your home will not be worth anything. It does, however, mean that there are no guarantees that it won't turn out that way, or you won't get a terrible neighbor that just does whatever they want. Now, not all HOAs are created equal, and they are all going to have different rules and regulations, or what you will commonly refer to as the CC&Rs, or the covenants, conditions, and restrictions, which outline what you can and can't do in a neighborhood. Depending upon how strict your HOA is, they may limit things like what color you can paint your house, whether or not you are able to build a fence, and if so, what color it can be and what materials it has to be made out of. They won't allow you to park a boat in your front yard or driveway or a camper, and a lot of them have restrictions on cars being parked in the street and so on. We often hear from clients who are coming from states like Florida, where they have extremely strict HOAs, that they are scared to live in a community here with one. But I think that you're going to find that most here are not that intent. But like I mentioned earlier, you need to research what you can and can't do based on their guidelines and decide if it's something that's going to be a fit for your lifestyle and what you want to do with the home. The money paid to your homeowners association also goes towards maintaining the community grounds, like the front entrance of your neighborhood, as well as any amenities. If you have a swimming pool or tennis courts or a playground, this money is used to maintain those areas as well. What you are going to pay per year for HOA fees depends mostly on the kind of amenities you have in the community. Here in North Georgia, if you live in a community with a price point around $400,000 to $600,000, you can typically expect to spend $600 to $1,200 a year in HOA fees for a single family home. Of course, if you're in a gated community or a country club, you can expect to pay significantly more, closer to a few $1,000s a year. Another place you will pay higher HOA fees is in a townhome community, where these fees goes towards taking care of your yard maintenance for you, and sometimes they'll also cover your roof and exterior maintenance. Of course, if you want to be in an active adult community with every amenity and club that you can think of, plus have your yard taken care of for you, this is going to cost you around $200 to $300 per month. If you're going to compare to other states, it's still not very extreme. The national average for monthly HOA fees is right around $200 a month for a total of $2,400 a year. That is substantially higher than the average price here in Georgia, and like I said, that is more in line with what you would be paying for a 55+ community with all the bells and whistles. And this is something that many of our clients that we talk to, when they say that they don't want to be in an HOA because of the high fees, when I talk to them, I find out that they're comparing this based on the HOA fees where they live. And when I tell them that most neighborhoods here are between $600 to $1,200 a year, most of the time their response is, oh, that's so much better than what we're currently paying. Sure, we're open to HOAs. So what do you think? Do you prefer to live in a neighborhood with an HOA to help maintain your home value and the neighborhood, or would you prefer not to be told what to do? I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And if you're thinking about making a move to Georgia, use the link in my pinned comment below to book a call with me. I want to be your real estate agent. Make sure you check out this video if you are considering making a move.